Have you ever stopped to consider that some of the most vital conversations about a man's health seem to abruptly end at a certain age? We readily discuss heart health, joint flexibility, and cognitive function as we advance in years. Yet a crucial aspect often retreats into the shadows, rarely addressed with the gravitas it deserves: the sustained care of the male anatomy, particularly the penis. This isn't merely a matter of hygiene, it's a profound dimension of comfort, confidence, and overall well-being that continues to shape a man's quality of life well into his senior years. Ignoring it isn't just an oversight. It's a quiet disservice to a part of the body that has, for decades, served as a cornerstone of identity, pleasure, and fundamental biological function. The prevailing misconception is that as a man ages, the importance of specific, mindful care for his private parts diminishes. Perhaps it's a lingering societal taboo, an assumption that that part of life is over, or simply a lack of education. But the truth, supported by medical understanding and countless personal experiences, is quite the opposite. The aging process brings unique physiological changes to every organ and tissue, and the penis is no exception. Skin becomes more delicate, blood vessels may lose elasticity, and urinary function can shift. These changes don't signal an end to care. They necessitate a refinement of care, a more nuanced and attentive approach to maintain health, prevent discomfort, and preserve dignity. Imagine a man in his late 70s, full of vitality in many aspects of his life, but plagued by persistent itching or unexplained discomfort in his groin. Or perhaps a gentleman in his 80s who once enjoyed robust health, now finds himself constantly anxious about urinary accidents, isolating himself from social engagements. These aren't inevitable consequences of aging. Often they are the silent cries of a body part that has been inadvertently neglected, overlooked in the broader narrative of senior health. Our goal today is to pull back the curtain on this often unspoken topic, transforming it from a source of a potential embarrassment into a beacon of empowerment. In the ensuing discussion, we will embark on an in-depth exploration of 5 essential, yet frequently disregarded, daily practices that every older man should conscientiously integrate into his routine. These aren't revolutionary medical treatments or fleeting fads. They are foundational pillars of self-care, rooted in common sense and medical wisdom, designed to bolster hygiene, optimize blood flow, maximize comfort, and ensure long-term functionality. We will delve into not just what to do, but why each practice is profoundly important, illuminating the potential consequences of neglect and showcasing how these seemingly small adjustments can ripple outwards, significantly improving not just physical health, but also self-perception, relationships, and overall quality of life. If you've ever felt a nagging concern about changes down there and lack the clarity or reassurance to address it, this comprehensive guide aims to provide the answers and the confidence you've been seeking. Join us as we unlock the secrets to enduring comfort and self-respect. Before we dive into the first crucial rule, pause for a moment to consider the profound implications of this often overlooked aspect of men's health. The insights shared here are designed to bring real, tangible value to your life, fostering not just physical well-being, but also a deeper sense of self-respect and confidence. If you're ready to embrace a holistic approach to your health at every age, please take a second to hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us spread vital information that genuinely matters. Rule 1. The art of gentle daily cleansing, a balanced approach to hygiene. The cornerstone of all health, regardless of age, begins with cleanliness. For older men, however, the seemingly straightforward act of daily cleaning of the penis requires a nuanced understanding, a shift from aggressive scrubbing to a more tender, deliberate approach. What many might consider basic hygiene can, if improperly executed, unwittingly become a source of irritation, discomfort, and even infection, particularly as the delicate skin of the male anatomy undergoes age-related changes. As the years accumulate, the skin throughout the body, including the highly sensitive genital area, tends to become thinner, more fragile, and less resilient. Its natural protective barrier, a delicate balance of oils and beneficial microorganisms, becomes more susceptible to disruption. This heightened vulnerability means that routines adopted in youth, vigorous scrubbing, liberal use of harsh fragranced soaps, or a cavalier attitude towards rinsing, can now precipitate problems rather than prevent them. Persistent itching, unexplained dryness, redness, or even uncomfortable chafing are often not symptoms of an underlying medical condition. but rather the body's protest against an overly aggressive or chemically irritating cleaning regimen. Consider the narrative of Dennis, a vibrant 74-year-old gentleman who, for years, grappled with recurring episodes of intense itching and bothersome dryness in his genital area. His quest for relief led him down a path of endless trial and error, changing laundry detergents, experimenting with various body powders, and even resorting to over-the-counter antifungal creams, all to no avail. The discomfort gnawed at his peace of mind, making even simple daily activities feel burdensome. It was only during a candid discussion with his urologist that the seemingly elusive answer emerged, not from a complex diagnosis, but from a revelation about his own daily habits. Dennis, operating under the assumption that more clean equals better, was diligently scrubbing his private parts twice a day with a potent antibacterial soap. This zealous approach, while well-intentioned, was systematically stripping away his skin's natural protective oils, disrupting its delicate pH balance, and leaving it vulnerable to irritation and an unhealthy dryness that mimicked other conditions. The solution, surprisingly simple, was transformative: a switch to a gentle, water-only rinse in the morning and a quick, careful wipe in the evening. Within weeks, his chronic symptoms dramatically receded, and the persistent discomfort became a distant memory. Dennis's experience underscores a fundamental biological principle. The penis, like many other parts of the body, possesses its own intricate ecosystem of oils and bacteria that form a crucial protective barrier. When this delicate equilibrium is violently disrupted by abrasive scrubbing or harsh chemical agents found in many common soaps, the skin is rendered vulnerable. It becomes prone to microfissures, redness, an uncomfortable tautness, and an overall hypersensitivity. Given that skin integrity naturally diminishes with age, this protective balance becomes even more fragile, demanding a gentler, more supportive approach to care. Proper hygiene in one's 60s, 70s, and 80s, therefore, isn't about intensifying efforts. It's about harmonizing with what the body is innately designed to do. It's about careful cleansing, not harsh stripping. The practical application of this rule is straightforward, yet profound. The primary cleansing agent should be warm, not scalding water. A soft touch is paramount. Think of it as a gentle caress rather than a vigorous scrub. If soap is deemed necessary, the selection is critical. Opt exclusively for mild, unscented, pH-balanced soaps specifically formulated for sensitive skin, or even specialized intimate washes. Rigorously avoid products containing alcohol, menthol, aggressive antibacterial agents, or heavy perfumes, as these are common culprits of irritation. For uncircumcised men, the gentle retraction of the foreskin and meticulous cleansing underneath is vital to prevent the accumulation of smegma, which can harbor bacteria and lead to unpleasant odors or infections. Crucially, after cleansing, the area must be thoroughly rinsed to remove all traces of soap residue, and then patted completely dry with a soft towel. Lingering moisture in the warm, enclosed environment of the groin creates an ideal breeding ground for fungal or bacterial infections, manifesting as itching, rashes, or a persistent, uncomfortable dampness. Beyond the undeniable physical benefits, there is a profound psychological dimension to this mindful approach to intimate hygiene. Dedicating a few extra moments each day to tenderly care for this often overlooked part of your anatomy transcends the mere avoidance of infection. It becomes a quiet yet powerful act of self-reaffirmation. In a society that often tacitly suggests that certain aspects of a man's body become less relevant with age, this daily ritual sends a clear message. This part of me still matters. It is still worthy of my attention, my respect, and my care. Even if no one else is aware of this quiet ritual, you are, and that awareness matters deeply. Daily hygiene, when approached with intention and gentleness, transforms into a consistent expression of self-respect, a foundational practice that sets the tone not just for sustained physical health, but for maintaining a sense of dignity, comfort, and quiet confidence that radiates through every aspect of your life. This first rule, the mastery of gentle daily cleaning, is indeed an important foundation for long-term health and comfort. If you find this information about maintaining proper, gentle hygiene for the male anatomy useful and are considering applying it to your daily routine, please let us know by commenting with the number 1 below. Your feedback helps us understand which topics resonate most with you. Rule 2. The power of the daily visual check. Vigilance without paranoia. Among the most quietly powerful habits an older man can cultivate is the brief but incredibly insightful practice of a daily visual inspection of his penis. This isn't about fostering anxiety or obsessing over minor imperfections. Rather, it's about cultivating a deep familiarity with your own body, transforming awareness into empowerment. The underlying principle is simple. The earlier you notice something that deviates from the norm, the easier it is to address, treat, and ultimately to safeguard your peace of mind. A common and understandable assumption many men make is that if there's no pain, there's no problem. However, this assumption can be a dangerous oversight, particularly in the context of the male anatomy. A range of conditions, from benign skin irritations and minor infections to more serious concerns like unusual growths or early-stage skin cancers, can manifest silently without any immediate discomfort or pain. These changes might appear subtly: a slight discoloration that wasn't present last week, a small bump that feels different to the touch, a patch of skin that seems unusually rough or crusty, or a minor abrasion that stubbornly refuses to heal. These are not calls for panic, but rather clear signals for attention and, if necessary, consultation. Let me share the cautionary yet ultimately reassuring story of Frank, a spry 79-year-old. One morning, he noticed what he initially dismissed as a tiny, harmless ingrown hair on the shaft of his penis. It caused him no pain whatsoever, so he naturally paid it little mind, assuming it would resolve itself. Weeks stretched into a month, and the ingrown hair not only persisted but seemed to subtly change its appearance. It was only when his wife gently encouraged him to mention it to his doctor during a routine checkup that the true nature of the anomaly was revealed. What Frank had dismissed as a trivial irritation was, in fact, an early-stage skin cancer. The profound relief and gratitude that washed over Frank upon receiving the diagnosis, coupled with the immediate and successful treatment, were immeasurable. As he later reflected, "I never even thought to check there. I figured if it didn't hurt, it didn't matter. But now, it's the first thing I do every morning after my shower, not out of fear, but out of a quiet, informed awareness." Frank's experience encapsulates the profound benefit of this daily visual habit. There is an inherent sense of control that stems from knowing your own body intimately enough to detect even the most minute deviations from its baseline. This isn't about succumbing to paranoia. It's about embracing proactive health stewardship. A quick, thorough glance while drying off after a shower or during the routine of dressing in the morning takes mere seconds, yet yields invaluable information. Over time, this consistent, simple habit fosters a deeper, more intuitive connection with your own physical state, enhancing your overall health awareness and strengthening your sense of personal agency. From a clinical perspective, the daily visual check is a powerful tool for early detection. It can help identify the initial signs of dermatological issues, such as rashes, fungal infections, inflammatory conditions, or small lesions that could be precursors to more serious concerns. Many men, understandably, feel a degree of awkwardness or apprehension when discussing intimate health concerns with their medical professionals. However, when you've been diligently monitoring your own body, observing changes and tracking their progression, it becomes significantly easier to articulate your concerns to a doctor. This empowers you to speak up with clarity and confidence, replacing hesitant fear with informed dialogue and enabling prompt, effective medical intervention. Moreover, this practice serves as a quiet reaffirmation of self-worth. Part of aging gracefully isn't about disengaging from your body as if it's a vehicle past its prime. It's about staying deeply engaged with it, listening to its signals, and responding with care and respect. Just because a man is older doesn't mean he should be disconnected from his own physical reality. If anything, the later chapters of life demand a heightened level of attentiveness, not because something is inherently wrong, but because it is a profound way of honoring the vessel that has faithfully carried you through every season of life. This daily visual check is a small, quiet act of profound self-respect, cementing the understanding that every part of your body continues to deserve thoughtful consideration. It's an investment in enduring comfort and a proactive step towards a life lived with informed confidence. If you're still with us and finding these insights valuable, particularly the emphasis on proactive self-awareness, please take a moment to comment with the number 2 below to let us know you're here and engaged with this important discussion. Your feedback is invaluable and it helps us continue creating content that truly serves your needs. Rule 3, the imperative of moisturizing, nourishing aging skin. The narrative around aging skin typically centers on the face, hands, and perhaps the elbows, areas visibly prone to dryness and wrinkles. However, a significant oversight exists for many men. The skin on the penis, just like elsewhere on the body, ages, thins, and becomes inherently more sensitive and susceptible to dryness. What might initially sound like an unnecessary or even peculiar addition to a man's routine, daily moisturizing of this delicate area emerges as one of the most intelligent, preventative measures an older man can adopt to avert persistent cracking, uncomfortable flaking, chronic itching, and the pervasive discomfort that can subtly erode quality of life over time. The physiological changes in aging skin are universal. As we mature, the skin's ability to produce natural oils, sebum, diminishes, collagen and elastin fibers break down, and cellular turnover slows. This leads to a compromised skin barrier, making it less effective at retaining moisture and more vulnerable to environmental aggressors and friction. For the highly vascularized and thin skin of the penis, these changes are particularly pronounced. A lack of adequate moisture can transform supple, resilient skin into a dry, taut, and easily irritated surface. The critical factor in this practice lies in the judicious selection of the right product. The goal is to nourish and protect, not to introduce further irritation. Therefore, the moisturizer must be unequivocally fragrance-free, hypoallergenic, and specifically formulated for sensitive skin. It is imperative to avoid any product containing alcohol, menthol, heavy perfumes, or strong chemical compounds, as these ingredients can exacerbate dryness and provoke allergic reactions or contact dermatitis. A small pea-sized amount of an unscented lotion, a medical-grade barrier cream, or even a pure natural oil like jojoba or almond oil, ensuring no nut allergies, gently applied after drying off from a shower can yield remarkable benefits. The objective is not to heavily slather the area, but rather to delicately replenish the skin's moisture, compensating for what it no longer produces efficiently on its own. Consider the transformative experience of Harold, an 82-year-old who previously wrestled with persistent irritation and intermittent dry patches on his penis. This discomfort was more than just physical. It subtly eroded his self-consciousness, making him feel less at ease in his own skin. He had, like many, resigned himself to the belief that these irritations were an unavoidable consequence of aging. It was his doctor who, during a routine consultation, suggested a simple intervention: the daily application of a small amount of a gentle, unscented moisturizer. The difference, according to Harold, was nothing short of astonishing. "I hadn't even realized how tight and uncomfortable the skin had become," he recounted. "Now it's just part of my routine, as normal as brushing my teeth." Harold's anecdote powerfully illustrates that this type of care is not cosmetic. It is fundamentally functional. Dry, fragile skin is inherently more prone to micro tears and cracking, which can lead to minor bleeding, increased susceptibility to bacterial or fungal infections, and pervasive discomfort during everyday movements, let alone during moments of intimacy. For men who remain sexually active, or even those who are not, comfort is paramount, and confidence is inextricably linked to comfort. The sheer absence of irritation, the simple, reassuring sensation that everything is just fine, provides a profound level of peace of mind that is rarely acknowledged in public discourse. This subtle yet significant psychological benefit allows a man to live more freely without the gnawing distraction of discomfort or self-consciousness. Psychologically, integrating daily moisturizing into one's routine is also an act of reclaiming attention for a part of the body that many men tacitly disconnect from as they age. Instead of succumbing to the narrative of "that part of my life is behind me," this practice shifts the focus towards "I am still here and I still care about every aspect of my well-being." This internal shift is far from trivial. It is empowering, fostering enhanced self-esteem, greater physical comfort, and, crucially, facilitating more open and honest communication with a doctor or partner should any concerns arise. And if you've never considered moisturizing this area before, rest assured, it is never too late to begin. Like any beneficial habit, it becomes normalized through consistent routine. A mere few seconds each day after your shower or before bed is all it requires. No special tools, no awkward procedures, just a small, intentional act of care that allows you to feel more at ease in your own skin, quite literally. This isn't vanity, it is profound self-stewardship. Your body, in its entirety, remains worthy of thoughtful, respectful attention, particularly those parts that, despite their fundamental importance, often go unmentioned and unappreciated. The simple act of moisturizing can bring immense comfort and prevent many common discomforts. If you're ready to incorporate this habit into your daily self-care, or if you simply appreciate the emphasis on holistic body care, we encourage you to share your thoughts. What's one area of self-care you've recently reevaluated? Let us know in the comments below. And if these discussions are proving valuable, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell. Your support ensures we can continue providing insightful content to inform and inspire. Rule 4, the vitality of movement, supporting circulation and overall function. When considering the comprehensive health of the penis in older age, one of the most frequently underestimated yet profoundly critical factors is the consistent support of robust blood flow. The strength and resilience of erections, the sensitivity of nerve endings, and even the body's innate capacity for efficient tissue healing, all are inextricably linked to the steady, uninterrupted delivery of oxygen-rich blood to the delicate tissues of the male anatomy every single day. The remarkable truth is that this vital physiological process doesn't necessarily demand complex pharmaceutical interventions or specialized treatments. Often, the most impactful support comes from the fundamental act of simply moving your body. The penis does not exist in isolation. It is an integral component of a sophisticated interconnected system encompassing intricate networks of blood vessels, sensitive nerve pathways, and coordinated muscle groups. As we naturally progress through the aging process, systemic circulation tends to become less efficient. This deceleration is particularly exacerbated by prolonged periods of sedentary behavior, a chronic lack of physical activity, or the insidious development of underlying health conditions such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, or hypercholesterolemia, elevated cholesterol levels, all of which can contribute to the hardening and narrowing of blood vessels, atherosclerosis. Consequently, integrating daily physical activity, even light movement, transcends its well-known benefits for cardiovascular health or joint flexibility. It directly and profoundly impacts sexual and urinary health. Consider the transformative journey of Robert, a 76-year-old man who, after a period of increasing lethargy, decided to integrate simple, short walks into his daily routine. Nothing strenuous, like just 2 deliberate excursions around his neighborhood. A brisk 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, and a similar stroll before dinner. Robert recounted that after approximately a month of this consistent, gentle effort, not only did he experience a significant surge in his overall energy levels, but he also noticed a remarkable and unexpected change, a more frequent return of morning erections, a phenomenon he hadn't experienced in years. He hadn't altered his diet, nor had he initiated any new medications. The most significant variable, the profound shift, was simply that the major muscle groups of his legs and the intricate network of blood vessels in his lower body were consistently engaged in movement. From a physiological perspective, this seemingly small change carries immense weight. Regular physical activity, even at moderate intensities, sends a powerful signal to your blood vessels throughout the body, including those supplying the penis, encouraging them to dilate, maintain their elasticity, and sustain robust circulation. Movement acts as a natural vasodilator, promoting optimal blood flow. Beyond this direct impact, physical activity plays a crucial role in regulating blood sugar levels, mitigating systemic inflammation, a silent enemy of vascular health, and supporting the health and optimal function of nerve pathways. All of these physiological benefits converge to directly and positively influence the pelvic region, promoting healthier tissue function and supporting erectile capacity. Importantly, this rule does not necessitate demanding gym workouts or strenuous weightlifting sessions. Even gentle stretching, engaging in light gardening, walking short distances, or simple activities like marching in place during television commercials can generate the gentle, consistent circulatory boost that your lower body, and by extension, your entire vascular system, fundamentally needs. Furthermore, the integration of daily movement carries a quiet yet profound emotional and psychological impact. Physical activity transcends mere caloric expenditure or muscle building. It is a powerful affirmation of one's continued engagement with life, an act of reclaiming your space and vitality in the world. When you move, you consciously affirm that you remain active, present, and deliberately choosing to interact with life on your own terms. This deliberate intention permeates every aspect of your being, including how you perceive and care for every part of your body, even those often relegated to silence. The key to unlocking these benefits lies in consistency, not necessarily intensity or duration. It doesn't have to be a marathon. It just has to happen regularly. A brief walk after breakfast, a few minutes of stretching while your coffee brews, standing up and moving around every hour if your work involves prolonged sitting, these are simple, accessible habits. Yet, they serve as powerful reminders to both your body and your mind that you are actively choosing strength, flexibility, and sustained function. So, if you've been feeling physically sluggish, emotionally disconnected, or simply unsure of how to proactively support this aspect of your intimate health, begin with your feet. Get them moving, because every deliberate step you take sends a cascading message of vitality down through your entire body, directly influencing your circulation, nurturing your nerves, and unequivocally bolstering your confidence. The importance of consistent movement for overall vitality, including intimate health, cannot be overstated. If these insights into supporting circulation through daily activity resonate with you, and you're considering how you might incorporate more movement into your life, please comment with the number 4 below to share your commitment and let us know you're still engaged with this valuable discussion. And remember, your active participation and continued support are crucial in helping us produce more high-quality content designed to inform and inspire. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Rule 5, the mindfulness of urination, ensuring complete bladder emptying. Among the constellation of daily habits that contribute to an older man's well-being, one stands out for its profound importance, yet frequent oversight: the mindful process of urination, and more specifically, the assurance that the bladder is completely emptied with each visit to the bathroom. This seemingly minor detail can, over time, subtly contribute to a cascade of unwelcome issues, ranging from recurrent urinary tract infections, UTIs, and uncomfortable pressure on the prostate, to general discomfort and even long-term bladder damage. Alarmingly, many men are entirely unaware that they are not fully voiding their bladders. As men age, the intricate mechanisms governing urination can undergo several physiological shifts. The muscles responsible for bladder control may subtly weaken. The prostate gland, a small organ located beneath the bladder, commonly enlarges, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia or BPH, and the sensory signals from the bladder to the brain can become less precise or reliable. This confluence of factors can lead to situations where the urge to urinate is less distinct, or where a man prematurely concludes that he has finished voiding, when in fact a significant volume of residual urine remains in the bladder. This leftover urine creates an exceptionally hospitable environment for bacteria to proliferate, setting the stage for a range of bothersome symptoms: frequent and urgent urination, a persistent feeling of incomplete emptying, uncomfortable dribbling after urination, and most commonly, urinary tract infections. Consider the case of Gerald, an 81-year-old gentleman who began experiencing a noticeable increase in nocturnal urination frequency, yet consistently felt an unsatisfying sensation of incomplete relief afterward. Concurrently, he started to notice episodes of mild urinary leakage during the day, a phenomenon entirely new to him. When he candidly discussed these distressing symptoms with his doctor, a clear pattern emerged. Gerald was unknowingly leaving behind a measurable amount of urine each time he attempted to void. The solution, once identified, was remarkably simple and actionable: a few straightforward behavioral techniques. By intentionally taking his time, consciously relaxing his pelvic floor muscles, and adopting a seated position during urination, Gerald was able to achieve more complete bladder emptying. Within weeks, his disruptive nocturnal awakenings diminished and the daytime leakage became a rare occurrence, significantly improving his comfort and confidence. The paramount strategy here is to take your time. Rushing through the act of urination or attempting to force the flow by straining can, paradoxically, work against the body's natural processes. Instead, cultivate a calm and unhurried approach. For many older men, particularly those with an enlarged prostate, sitting down to urinate can facilitate more complete emptying by allowing the pelvic floor muscles to fully relax. Breathe deeply and consciously. After the initial stream concludes, resist the urge to immediately stand up. Instead, give yourself an additional 10 to 20 seconds remaining seated to allow for any residual urine to naturally pass. Sometimes, gently leaning forward from the hips or subtly shifting your body from side to side can help to compress the bladder slightly and trigger the final release of urine. These might seem like incredibly minor adjustments, but for a significant number of older men, they represent the critical difference between enduring chronic urinary discomfort and experiencing lasting relief and control. Beyond the undeniable physical benefits, there is a profound mental and emotional grounding inherent in this mindful practice. Being fully present and attentive during a moment as routine and seemingly mundane as using the bathroom can serve as a powerful conduit for reconnecting with your body's subtle signals. It's not merely about the mechanics of plumbing, it's about actively listening to your body, paying diligent attention to its cues, and taking yourself seriously enough to slow down, observe, and respond. For generations, many men have been implicitly or even explicitly taught to remain silent about such intimate bodily functions, viewing them as private, perhaps even shameful. However, here lies an undeniable truth. Speaking openly about these issues, and more importantly, actively caring for them, is precisely how you stay ahead of potential complications. Practicing this small act of conscious awareness every single day stands as one of the most accessible and effective ways to safeguard your comfort, preserve your dignity, and proactively manage your health well into the years ahead. A strong, resilient body is not solely defined by muscular prowess or dietary rigor. It is fundamentally about paying meticulous attention to how your intricate internal systems function and consistently affording them the respect and mindful consideration they inherently deserve, even in the quietest, most unnoticed moments of daily life. Final reflections: embracing self-care with dignity and empowerment. As we draw to a close on this extensive exploration of male intimate health in older age, it is crucial to reiterate the overarching message. The conscientious care of your penis in your later years is not rooted in vanity, overshadowed by shame, or driven by a futile chase for lost youth. Instead, it is fundamentally about enduring comfort, proactive health maintenance, and above all, a profound and well-deserved respect for a part of your body that has faithfully served you across many decades and continues to deserve your thoughtful, consistent attention. The 5 rules we have meticulously detailed today: gentle daily cleansing, vigilant visual checks, consistent moisturizing, dedicated movement for circulation, and mindful urination, may appear simple in their individual components. Yet, when woven together, they form a robust daily rhythm of self-care that transcends mere physical well-being. This integrated approach powerfully supports your confidence, bolsters your sense of control over your own body, and enhances your overall quality of life. For aging isn't a process of relinquishing control or accepting inevitable decline. It is, rather, an opportunity to tune in more acutely to your body's evolving needs, responding with wisdom, intention, and proactive care in this unique chapter of your life. If, after absorbing these comprehensive insights, even one of these vital habits feels new or represents an area you haven't yet prioritized, do not allow that realization to overwhelm you. The journey towards optimal health is iterative, not instantaneous. Instead, make a conscious decision. Choose just one of these practices, the one that resonates most deeply or feels most accessible, and commit to integrating it into your daily routine. You might be genuinely astonished by the tangible improvements you experience. A greater sense of physical comfort, a heightened feeling of ease within your own skin, and a deeper, more affirming connection to your own body. These are not grand, dramatic transformations, but they are undeniably meaningful ones, quietly and powerfully affirming your commitment to showing up for yourself every single day. And if you are a man who has, for any reason, felt hesitant, embarrassed, or even ashamed to consider this type of intimate self-care, our deepest hope is that today's discussion has provided you with the unequivocal permission to release those inhibitions. There is absolutely nothing shameful about taking meticulous care of every aspect of your being. In fact, embracing such comprehensive self-stewardship might very well be one of the most potent and courageous acts of self-love and empowerment you undertake. Thank you for dedicating your time to joining us on this vital discussion. We deeply value your engagement and your thoughts. We would be immensely grateful if you would share one significant insight you gained today and how you envision integrating it into your daily life by leaving a comment below. Your reflections are incredibly important to us, and reading your comments serves as a profound source of motivation and encouragement, fueling our mission to deliver valuable content. If this article has brought value and insight into your life, please demonstrate your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and remembering to activate the notification bell so you never miss out on future insightful content. Your continued support is what allows us to keep creating and sharing knowledge that empowers and inspires. We look forward to connecting with you in our next video.